Hey, I'm Lord Doodles, and this week I've been playing a lot of Splatoon 2, and I realized it's been way too long since I've drawn an Inkling, so that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna draw some Inklings from Splatoon 3, and we're gonna have a good time. Let's go! First up is sketching. And at this point, I was just figuring out which features I wanted to put on my Inkling. And the options were vast. I mean, Splatoon 3, there are just so many new hairstyles and eye colors and outfits. And that little Salmonoid I've never drawn before, that I just decided to stick with the main Splatoon 3 character, keep it simple. The new hair is just awesome, the half-braided thing. That's great, so that's what I sketched first, little half-braided hairdo, and then I moved on to inking a little sketch so that I could test out some colors. I also decided to stick with the original colors, which were yellow hair, and I don't know what color the eyes are in the trailer, but I went with a greenish yellow-brown. I'm just psyched that there's going to be new eye colors that are like mixing and matching. It's gonna be just great. Didn't take me very long to figure out what I wanted to have in my final drawing. I had the hair, the colors. I decided that I wanted it to be kind of in a running pose. It didn't take me long to figure that out either. So I drew some thumbnails, then I moved on to the next page and started sketching again. So, sketching out my final drawing went pretty well. I'm really happy what I ended up getting with that facial expression. It looks like they've just done something very naughty, maybe with the awesome weapon. And I completely forgot to design the weapon, to sketch out the weapon before I put it into the final drawing. So I had to go back to my first page, sketch out the weapon, try different colors and everything. And then I went back and added that into my sketch. I mean, you can't draw an Inkling without a weapon, right? Speaking of weapons, this bow is really cool if you actually look at it. It's really funny that drawing things makes you realize little details that you wouldn't really notice before. Like, I'd looked at the weapon, but I never really connected that it was kind of a fishing rod bow hybrid. If you look, they're actually, the ink strings are going into this fishing rod turning mechanism, and the bow is connected to this, where you pull on the string is connected to this tube of ink, which I'm presuming you pull back on the string, you let it go, and it squishes through the tube and splashes on your enemy. Pretty cool. I'm really excited to see what the other weapons are going to look like. crucial thing I forgot was the outfit. I probably just draw so many heads without bodies in my sketchbook that it didn't even click in my mind that I was going to have to draw a body. So I had to go back again and test out some colors. The colors weren't that exciting on the outfit. They were pretty much just grays for the white t-shirt for shadows, and red and black for the shoes. I'd say coloring was completed with minimal mistakes. I made one or two, but they're almost impossible to spot. So I'm pretty happy with how coloring went. I am very proud of the shine that I managed to get on the hair. And I was really stressed about both inking and coloring the bow. I was not sure how that was gonna go. I was sure something was going to be completely disproportionate or something like that, or I'd completely color the wrong thing. But it actually turned out really good. So I'm really happy with how the bow turned out. So I colored the skin first, I colored the hair, the clothes and the weapon, and then, my favorite part, I added little white highlights with my Sakura Jelly Roll pen. I cannot tell you how much a white pen does to your drawing. I mean, I think it just makes, even if you didn't do a great job coloring it, it just completely makes everything better. I don't know why. So I took my white pen and I literally added sparkles to everything. Cheeks, nose, hair, ears, fingers, knuckles, everything. Even to the clothes. I'd say that the white highlights really helped making the metal pieces, having a lot of fun, adding little highlights and everything. And then I realized I forgot to draw the Salmonoid. How could I forget that guy? He's like crucial in the Splatoon 3 trailer. And I decided, you know what, this isn't gonna work for me. So I went back to my first page yet again and realized, well, there's no room, so I had to go to another page, and I started sketching the Salmonoid. Now, my sketches didn't do him quite justice, which is why I'm especially surprised at how well the final drawing turned out. I decided to give him a mohawk because the mohawk, I think, is the coolest Salmonoid hairstyle. His hair is a little bit of a orangish yellow, which I had a little bit of trouble finding. I don't think I ever quite got the right shade. So finally, it was time to just bite the bullet and put the Salmonoid onto my final drawing. I was so worried about this because, like I said, the sketches didn't really do him justice. But I had to do it eventually, and you know what? It would turn out how it would. So I just did my best. I went onto the other page, I drew him once or twice, tried to get him in the right spot. I had to be careful to give him enough room for his mohawk, because I didn't really want to draw him standing behind the Inkling. But there was a nice little spot in the corner there for him, and I think he fits pretty well in the end. So I inked him, and I was so nervous about this. I used just black ink for all of it. For the Inkling, I used different colors of ink. I used brown and black. So when I was experimenting with colors, I realized that even though the Salmonoid has a little bit of a skin gradient, it would just be easier to just do one flat color. That was how it was going to work for me. So he ended up looking a little bit, in my final drawing, concerned. I don't know what he's running from. I suspect this is just, I tend to add story to my drawings. I suspect that the Inkling has maybe made someone mad that she shouldn't have. And now the Salmonoid has to run away from whatever that is, and she's running too, but she looks a lot more excited about it. So that's just my little bit of story into this drawing. So finally, it was on to my favorite part once again, adding highlights with my white pen. I used this to add some little kind of scaly texture on his tail, because I think that really pulls out the fact he looks kind of like a mermaid. And I added some sparkles to his eyes, to his mohawk, and everything just turned out perfect. I'm so happy with it. And that just about wraps it up. I think it turned out just the way I wanted it to. Tell me what you guys think, and consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!